we have received threats from terrorists to bomb National Assembly complex and threats from protesters to lock up the National Assembly. Legislators are exposed to threats from constituents and other Nigerians who gained easy access into their offices without any formal invitation or appointment. It is obvious that with the ongoing security challenges, if proper measures are not taken, legislative activities will be truncated and truncated in the National Assembly. And if activities are thwarted, there will be no representation, no oversight, no annual budget, there will be no plenary at all. And all this will destabilize legislative procedure, democracy, and the stability of the system and the nation at large.
All right. So there has been news flying around that terrorists want to bomb the National Assembly. Yes, you heard me right. That terrorist has threatened to bomb the National Assembly. Anyway, those hold on, let me read out this news for you. It says,
breaking. We have received threats from terrorists to bomb National Assembly. House of Reps members cry out. A House of Representatives committee has revealed that terrorists are threatening to bomb the National Assembly. Garba Muhammad, chairman of the Committee on Internal Security of the National Assembly, spoke during a public hearing on Tuesday. The hearing was organized to consider a bill seeking to establish the Legislative Security Directorate in the National Assembly, which will outline the qualifications and conditions of service for the sergeant-at-arms and other personnel. Security is very crucial to all arms of government, especially to the legislative arm, because it is an institution where legislators, staff, executive, judiciary, individuals, organizations, protesters, demonstrators, and many more troop into on a daily basis in their droves to pursue one thing or the other, he said. Due to this daily massive influx of people into the parliament, criminals seek and attempt to take advantage of the situation to infiltrate in order to conduct their dubious behaviors. The National Assembly is going through a lot of security challenges. We have experienced car theft, motorcycle theft, vandalism, fake identity cards, and unwanted visitors accessing the National Assembly without proper documentation, as well as petty trading, which gives the National Assembly a small market appearance. We have received threats from terrorists to bomb National Assembly complex and threats from protesters to lock up the National Assembly. Legislators are exposed to threats from constituents and others who gain easy access to their offices without any formal appointments. It is obvious that with the ongoing security challenges, if proper measures are not taken, will truncate the legislative activities in the National Assembly, and if activities are thwarted, there will be no representation, no oversight, no annual budget, there will be no plenary at all, and that will destabilize legislative procedure, democracy, and the stability of the system and our nation at large. Effective security management needs a total approach that requires various elements to be integrated together in order to secure our environment for legislative procedure to function effectively and maximally. The committee chairman said the bill seeks to address all the challenges facing the National Assembly and adopt the world's best practices of parliamentary security, procedures, and architectures. Muhammad said the need for effective security measures in the National Assembly cannot be overemphasized, adding that stringent security measures must be implemented. Muhammad asked the State House of Assemblies to implement the same security measures.
We have received threats from terrorists to bomb National Assembly complex and threats from protesters to lock up the National Assembly.
So you had that, right? Now the question is this. Who are those threatening to bomb the National Assembly? Who are those? Let me allow you to hear the answer from this video I'm going to play for you now. So after watching this, you understand those behind this. Listen to this.
We have a confession that the media has not given appropriate attention. Kawu Baraje Alhaji was a leading chieftain of the APC, and he has confessed that they imported the foreign mercenaries who have become bandits. He has confessed. How much more evidence do you need? He has confessed that they imported them for the elections. This is public. Why is the media not following up? Why are we not asking for accountability? So it seems very clear to me and to so many others. If you're in the public space, you hear people talking and pointing fingers. The ruling party is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. My name is Martin Onobo. I said it. APC is the direct sponsor of insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria. Ask me for the evidence.
What are the facts?
Good. I just gave you confession of Kawu Baraje.
Thank you.
That's number one. Number two, Miyetti Allah made a public statement that if you want peace in your state, don't call any meeting. Provide land for Fulanis in your state. Public statement. Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah is a collaborator with the ruling party. We had a report that the ruling party funded Miyetti Allah to the tune of 100 billion. I wasn't there when the payment was made, but that's in the public domain. We had an official report that the government of Nigeria was going to establish a radio station in collaboration with Miyetti Allah, where Fufude, the Fulani tribal dialect, will be the language of communication. Now, interestingly, you asked me for facts. We have it on the authority of the Ondo state government that the PRO of Miyetti Allah in Ondo state led the criminal suspect gang that killed Parafasharanti's daughter. That is on the authority of the Ondo state government. And they have been arrested. And the leader of the gang is the PRO of Miyetti Allah in Ondo state. We have it of the authority of the Nigerian police that a headsman was arrested with a military rifle in Plateau State. I have the number of the rifle. I can send it to you by SMS. I just need to check my records. I have the rifle number. We have it the authority of retired Colonel Nyam that the Fulani headsmen repelled in Ogoja were using Nigerian army rifles from the barracks in that vicinity, and that the soldiers came to collect the rifles back. Now, who is the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces? Who should be responsible for the activities of these armed forces? We have it on the authority of General Danjuma. Danjuma has commanded these forces. We have it on the authority of General Danjuma that the armed forces are conniving with the bandits that are killing citizens. How much more evidence do you want? How much more evidence? We have hard physical evidence. We have testimonies from relevant authorities? How much more evidence do you want to know that the ruling party in Nigeria, the APC, is the sponsor of insecurity and terrorism? How much more evidence? I don't need any more evidence. I am 1000% convinced, and nobody has contrary evidence. The APC, the ruling party in Nigeria, is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria.
That is damning. For the fact that the Nigerian government sponsored terrorism has finally been institutionalized under this Buhari's regime.
I forgot one point. The trial in Dubai. The trial in Dubai, where some Nigerians were convicted for terrorism financing in Nigeria. The published report said that they were traced to people high up in government. So how much more evidence do we need? All the evidence is out there.
Let me first of all say that the idea of bringing people from outside the country to destabilize wasn't, I didn't say they brought people to destabilize. What I said was that the idea, they actually brought people into the country with the intention that those people will come and vote for them. I think you understand? And they never realized, they never knew, they were never convinced that they were going to win that election because PDP was very, very strong on ground. So the fear was that they were going to lose the election. So the only thing they could do was to bring in people who could serve as mercenaries to come and win elections for them by, through the back door. But when the new PDP came on board and joined them and form the APC and won the election, they didn't know what to do with those people. And in the process, those people became uncontrollable. Many people have spoken about that. You've mentioned a name now, although I hate to mention names. You've mentioned a name now. You've mentioned the El-Rufai. He talked about them. There were other people who are in APC now, who are strong members of APC now, serving at top positions, who also spoke about that. It was not only me. So that was exactly what. But to me, the scenario or the dynamics have changed. And what has changed the dynamics? What were the problems on ground that time? Are they still there, or they are not there? What was the economy of the country by 2014-15? 2014-15, by the time APC was coming on board? What is it now? What was it when the idea of Emilio came on board? What is happening now? The strength of the economy of the country. What is it now? Are we any better? These are questions we should ask ourselves. And then as a party, these are questions we go to the boardroom to ask ourselves and to give answers to how to make it better. And definitely I know we have the answers. It was not like this in 2014-15. And you know it for sure that if we have gotten the opportunity to continue, things will not be like this, as bad as it is now. I'm sure if the PDP comes in, if we are given the opportunity to come in, it will not be as bad or from bad to worse as it is now. It's an issue. Insecurity is an issue all over the world nowadays. But it was not as escalated as it is today, right? Which means enough attention or enough solution has not been has not been given to the issue of security in Nigeria. One will have thought that one of the cardinal, answers to the problems Nigerians have is to solve the insecurity first. But it's going from bad to worse. So the insecurity is not isolated to Nigeria. It's a national thing, but I think if the PDP get there, PDP will do far, far better than what is happening now. There are many problems to be solved, and we have started solving the problem. It might not be open now, but by the time the results are coming out, I think members and the general public, the entire Nigerians will be happy to have a very strong opposition. First of all, Dr. Abati, it is not the parties, it's not the tradition, well, of people like us to come and, openly tell you the strategies that the PDP is going to use to solve the problem. But you know very well that where we have a lot of better heads, solutions is not very far from such area. First of all, we have removed panic because we have gotten over the shock of Delta. I must confess it was a shock because where you don't have any quarrel, you don't have any cause to say that any member or a group of people are complaining, suddenly they just wake up one day and say they are going. You get a shock, fine. But we've gotten over the shock. And what some of us are telling ourselves in the PDP is that enough is enough. Let's stop talking about the defection in Delta. Now we sit down in round table, and you can see what our governors have done within the last 3 days. And that's to tell you that we are moving forward. And one step after the other. We cannot say we cannot say we are changing the leadership of the party, we are resolving the problem in the leadership, particularly in the area of the secretaryship, and at the same time put up people to be suspended or put up people to be disciplined in one way or the other. We have to move one out. This problem do not come in one day.
Nigeria import terrorists from all over the world. Right now, there are more than 5 terrorist groups that operate in the country today. Ansaru is in Nigeria. El-Shabaab is in Nigeria. Mieti Allah operates in Nigeria. Fulani bandits operate in Nigeria. Fulani herders that have been named the 4th deadliest terrorist group in the world by the Global Terrorist Watch of West Africa. These terrorist groups operate in Nigeria. And the government of Nigeria provides an enabling environment for them to try, for them to do their bidding. They provide them with logistics, money, arms, and then they send them to the eastern region of Nigeria to kill my people and to destabilize the region. That is their goal. And that's exactly what they're doing now.
Even the Fulani bandits, they know they like me, then they call them, say they Fulani, they should be calling them bandits. But they are Fulani people, and they don't come and go and talk, say, look, if now this government bring them in 2015, say make them come help them do election. After election, they don't abandon them. So then they look for money where they go chop. So the thing not be saying that the thing where anybody go hide, say, he know they see. They are part of it. This government never come out to deny, say, na lie. We no do that kind of.
The other day, I think on Friday, we saw more than 300 Boko Haram were reintegrated, disarmed,
of course,
reintegrated back into the society. So we are seeing terrorists, people who kill, people who kidnap, who destroy properties, people who are against the government are being reintegrated back into the society.
So when I tell you now that government,
and they are still saying to go back to their old ways. That's the funny thing. Or the irony in all of this is that some of them are seen to go back to their old ways. They go back, they give information, they go back to give their former counterparts information. So what is the point of still giving these people amnesty, reintegrating them back into the society when they still cause mayhem in the society?
When I tell you that the government is not fighting terrorism, these are my reasons. You know, I've told you here. What is driving this is religious and ethnic sentiment. All those people that are integrated and all that, go and check where the religion they profess, go and check where they come from. That's what is driving it. So you cannot tell me that the federal government is fighting. No. Even these ones that are killing in Plateau and Benue, they know them, but they won't touch them. Promise, they will not touch them. If the security manage to catch any of them, tomorrow they are back. So what are you now telling me? That government is fighting? Is a lie. Pure lie, complete lie. They are not doing anything. All this thing you are hearing and seeing is just smoke screen. Shetima went to Plateau, he went to Bay. It's a pure lie. It's deceit. Pure deceit. They are not serious. Let that Shetima explain to us what he was doing with the Kabiru Sokoto. That
was found in his residence.
Of course. Before he became vice president, what was he doing with that man? Up to today, did he explain to us?
In Borno State.
So please, people should spare all those tricks. I'm not interested.
All right.
When they are ready, and when Nigerians are ready, we will know how far. Until this thing get to a head, this matter will not be solved. Mark my word. Until it get to a head, until the people fight back with the same ammunition they are using against them, this thing will never come to an end.